Good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, October 9th, and this is the AgYield War Room. I'm Dan Dempsey, and I'll be moderating today's session. As always, if you've got any questions or comments, please feel free to drop us a line in the chat area, and we'll be sure to get to it during the show. Quickly here, overnight markets had December corn up 2 at 422 3/4. November soybeans were also up 2 at 1018 1/4. And December Chicago wheat was up 7.5 at 602 1/4. This morning, the USDA announced an export sales announcement of 126,000 metric tons of corn to unknown destinations for 24. We are currently, as of yesterday, through 6 of 23 settlements on our harvest price discovery for crop insurance. Corn's sitting right about 426 right now, and soybeans are at 1041. It's Wednesday. We've got, with that, a special guest here joining us this morning, Mark Delhotal from Colwell Farms. He's a partner there right outside of Franklin Grove, Illinois, which would be in the northern portions of Illinois. Mark, we certainly appreciate you joining us here this morning. I know you guys are busy out there running, and maybe just give us a little update on where you're at harvest progress wise, what you've seen so far and what your expectations are as you finish out the season here.
Yeah. Thank you guys for having me on this morning. We finished soybeans last Sunday, had a great run on those. And yields were good on those, above average for us, in this area, and just could never get a lot of moisture into them though. So if we had gotten that moisture into them, it would have been, even a little better yield. We harvested a lot around 11%. So had a really good weather pattern and really good running for those. Corn, we started Monday, and it's been good for us as well. We're about 10% done right now and running anywhere from 20 to 22% on the moisture. Sometimes it gets a little drier, but we're running full season corn. And we're happy with the yields. It's been good so far. So we're happy to see what the rest of the fall brings for us.
Sure. Justin, maybe a few follow-ups with Mark there.
No, just, we were talking before the show, but are you seeing about the same progress kind of everywhere around you right now? Everyone just kind of getting into corn from beans?
There's a lot of beans left out there, it looks like, and I don't quite understand it yet. I think some of the later planted beans still pretty green, and so I suspect that's why they're not digging in yet. And corn's just getting going, I think, in this area. There's the guys that plant only corn have been going for a little while, but the combo guys are running corn, just getting started with it.
Okay.
I think by next week you'll see a lot more beans out, and the corn will really start moving, I think.
Sure. Yeah, that's what we're kind of seeing too. What would you say, versus what you thought, a month or two ago? Your yields, are they a decent amount above APH or better than you thought?
They're above APH. They're better than we thought. When we get all the way across them and we take the average, I think we're going to be pretty happy with it. I think we really are. And I think that's indicative of the area that we're in right here. We got timely rains. We had awesome weather really all summer long. So just a little dry at the end there, that could have put a few extra bushels on some corn and some beans, but really we're pretty happy with the weather we had and the yield we're getting.
Sure. You guys have
Mark,
questions?
I had some questions. Talking to my brother and some seed salesmen in the area, saying some of these later genetic beans are doing really good this year. It's like some 4th generation from Pioneer, from Corteva. Did you guys plant any of that? Have you heard any of that or seen any of that?
So we didn't get any Z series this year, but we're still running the A series, and I'll tell you what, it's amazing what they do. It's amazing what all these crops do anymore. I mean, with the long stretches of no rain and the what I call still kind of a little bit that we got, it as compared to other years. I mean, these things just power through, and I think the soybeans are only going to get better as we keep going. We're happy. I mean, we plant everything's Pioneer that we plant, and we're happy as heck with it. So.
Oh, good.
It's all good.
Oh, very good. Guys, anything else from Mark here this morning?
Yeah, I was just going to ask Mark, how's basis? I mean, if your area is out producing, I mean, is it still holding in there, or is it starting to slide a little bit?
Yeah, we're hanging. I don't know. I think beans be right around 40, 45 cents right now for basis. I think that they're not going to be real aggressive because they've got so much coming in. So
Right.
it's I don't think they're going to be real sweet basis this winter.
Yeah, it seems lately that they want you to store your beans and bring the corn in with the basis that I've been seeing kind of in your neck of the woods. So yeah,
Everybody's gonna be full. They're preparing the surface dumps, the piles, getting ready to get those with some corn and stuff. I think storage is gonna be pretty tight around here. To be honest, if they can't get it out with the rivers being low, I think that it's gonna be getting tight.
for sure.
What do you think, Mark? If there's extra bushels that most guys don't expect, will they just sell it? Those just across the scale sell? Will they try to fill up their facilities first, and then the extra bushels just sell it at the market?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's our plan. We've we filled everything we could store on the soybean side, and the rest went to town, to the elevator, and we're hoping we have that same situation with the corn, and it doesn't really pay to store it. If you figure in interest and you figure in their storage costs, it just doesn't pay to store it very long. I mean, it's kind of like I don't know, we look at it kind of as like a bonus check, we budgeted on an average yield that we can operate on, and then you get this, and it's, a bonus.
Yeah, especially with a nice flat price rally, kind of helps going right into harvest.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're happy.
Good
Oh,
deal.
very good. Guys, any parting shots here for Mark as he's driving down the road hauling grain?
No, keep your eyes
Hey,
on
keep
the
your
road.
eyes on the road.
I'm not looking at you guys. I'm not looking at you guys.
Well, thanks for taking your time, Mark. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys for the opportunity, and we'll talk soon.
All right,
safe
Mark, you have a
harvest.
good day.
Mark.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Mark. All right, so live from the fields. That's pretty cool. Dustin, maybe a few thoughts on the markets here. Obviously, Mark kind of reiterating what we've heard from northern half of the state of Illinois. I mean, it's solid, and there's big bushels out there.
Yeah, I know. Markets, we saw some weakness yesterday. It's probably some of that extra bushels coming out of the field that are getting sold. Funds are really, covered a lot of their short positions already. We've set 6 of the 23 trading days for the crop insurance window. So that's rapidly expiring, and we're going to see a very quick harvest pace. So a lot of, like Justin mentioned yesterday, a record amount of bushels in a very short time is going to be moving. And we know in the East, they're already fairly full coming into this time frame. The forecast is still extremely dry for the next 7 days in upper Mississippi and Missouri River basins. So we'd expect the lower Mississippi to continue to drop here over the next couple of weeks. That's what the forecast shows as well from the government forecast. So when you look at things like flat price and spread risk, I think that those are both a little bit more elevated here in the next 45 days. Mark made a good point. I think a lot of people are planning just to sell it. It's like bonus money, especially if it's extra bushels. And a lot of those extra bushels happen to be coming around the river system, which is what our contracts are all based on. They're geared to go downriver. And so if we're talking futures risk right now, not basis risk, we have to keep that in mind. It's really that transfer of ownership from grower to commercial. I think when we start to break flat price and break spreads, and we no longer have that, fund, record short fund position to really kind of count on for them to potentially, buy out of the contract and bail the market out on the upside. We've had really good end user margins. So you think like, who's gonna step in there and really support this market, especially at the very front end if they've already got their nearby coverage needs met I'm not saying they're met today, but eventually I think that there's a potential for more sellers than buyers here in the next 45 days. Could be very wrong on this, so take it with a grain of salt. But I think that for most people, when they're talking about their own risk, you know, kind of have a plan for what that post-insurance floor looks like at this point. Make sure there's some sort of risk mitigation on price for the next 45 days is what I'm looking at.
Yeah, if you just look at like current spreads too, you've got D's through D's to March 25 and corn, 17.5 cent carry, March to July 15-cent carry, and then it's flat, July forward. So really that risk, if you think about, we've already lost 27% of our crop insurance coverage. So that put floor is quickly eroding, and the risk, really there's a ton of risk out in that March timeframe between now and March, between new crop insurance being set and old crop expiring this month, right? That's the biggest risk for, if you look at the U.S. farmer in general, is going to be between now and call it end of March or even beginning of March, which also happens to be kind of where the highest premium is in the market. So I just think that's the time frame people should be looking at. If you look at, we know, it's one thing when you don't know. I mean, now we're harvesting big yields. It's a known, right? So now you just have to figure out price, and the bushels. That makes it a lot easier. It's hard when you don't know either. And when you look at like new crop prices, a lot can happen. South America, US. So the highest price is the most known, really, in my opinion. So I guess that's where I'd be focusing.
Very good. Jason, anything to add there?
Nope, not really. No. I agreed with everything those guys said. Obviously a lot of technical things going on. We got a report on Friday, which could shake up the market pretty good. We're going to get just some more, we're getting into harvest, right? So we're going to have a report with a lot more information that the USDA has access to. And that's how I view it, kind of, big picture. So a reduction or an increase in yield for either crop could, either kind of put the high end short term to kind of Dustin or Justin's point, coming in the end of harvest. If we do raise yields, it's going to be, in my opinion, somewhat of a repeat of last year, of just a lot of bushels that need to find a home, and a lot of movement in the spreads and basis and those kinds of things. So completely agree with all that. So yeah, keeping a close eye on this report. But this, we've talked about this a lot. This is a really nice rally, maybe even unexpected for a lot of people. I think it's shifted some people in the industry's mind of okay, lows in, now it's time to buy. If it's a dead cat bounce, it's a really big one for a dead cat bounce, which is, if you were to be a bear in the grain markets, you would be looking at some of these charts and saying it hit right where you should be, getting short again if there is going to be a big crop. So I think this report will kind of, move that narrative forward if that is the case. Yeah. So South American weather, not a lot changed there either. The European model for Brazil is really wet over the next couple of weeks. GFS has come to the European, to that model side somewhat and got a lot wetter. Some of the disagreements is where that rain's going to hit. Like the GFS has a lot further south in Brazil. So a lot of that, central western big growing regions of Brazil, might not see nearly as much rain. Mato Grosso area, Mato Grosso do Sul. So that'll be, I think traded, where those rains line up. I think they're both in agreement that Argentina is going to get a good shot of rain, which they're needing as well. To kind of get their moisture back up. So still, that's still something that this market will be trading, in my opinion.
Very good. Rye, we keep trucking along in cattle here. Another strong day yesterday in the cattle complex. What's your thoughts here this morning?
Yeah, it was another new high for the move. You had another jump in open interest, up another 2,000 contracts, new highs in beef. So it just kind of feels like everybody's waiting just for a higher cash trade this week. We still really haven't seen anything. I think everybody wants to see 188 plus here. So, maybe something closer to 190 in a lot of these areas, just based on how aggressively bought this market is pretty much every day. So overall, I think that's where we're at right now. It's a little bit of a waiting game, and just kind of, I think just at this point, the bulls just keep on buying it just because they get rewarded, pretty much week to week. So, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity here, I think, just from a hedge standpoint, just in case things just go south or you get some kind of, black swan bad news. Good just to kind of stay hedged in this environment. I mean, we're chugging along right with the seasonal, right through, this next 2 weeks. I mean, the futures market typically stays pretty positive. So I think all eyes are really starting to shift back into the back end of the market now that we're starting to see the premiums start to get developed in Feb and April. I mean, these are really good seasonal timeframes to start to look at those prices and start to look at forward margins and look if we need to hedge or not. So yeah, just a waiting game right now, but trend is your friend. Wouldn't be surprised to see us run into some hedging at this stage in the game. Plus, on Saturday, it sounded like China was going to hold a briefing just about their fiscal policy. And I think just, especially in the hog market, I think a big source of support has just been this narrative that China is going to swoop in here and just, remain active buyers, really in both meats. So I think that's something that the market's going to be paying attention to if there's any surprises around there. That's going to be on Saturday. So it probably wouldn't really make it into the trade until next week. It just seems like right now the buyers have been really aggressive in both places. Hog market has just kind of shrugged off any kind of weakness and cut out. Cash is slowly kind of grinding higher, and the board just wants to stay up. So it's hard to fight that, but definitely good opportunities from a producer standpoint to get on some good hedges here.
Very good. I appreciate the update here. We just came into the open. December corn unchanged here at 420 3/4. November soybeans down 4 at 10.12 1/4. And December Chicago wheat is up 3 at 597 3/4. Tomorrow morning, we'll have weekly export sales. Those will be out at 7:30. We'll look at those, discuss those in the war room. Appreciate everybody tuning in on a daily basis. If you wouldn't mind, throw us a like or subscribe. It'll keep you up to speed on everything AgYield. And once again, we appreciate everybody that tunes in. We couldn't do it without you guys. So it's a great show.
First for Florida too, Dan.
No doubt.
Be pretty nasty tonight and tomorrow.
Yeah, everybody down south. Yeah, our thoughts are with you. Stay safe. Get out of there. What do they call them? 15-foot surges now is what I'm seeing this morning. So, yeah, let's hope for the best down there. Every day that the markets are open, we're streaming live on X, Facebook Live, and YouTube Live, 8:15 Central Time. Thanks for the thoughts and comments here this morning, guys. It was a good conversation. Hope everybody has a great day, and we'll look forward to talking again.
The War Room is proudly presented by AgYield. For over 50 years, the AgYield team has provided grain marketing and risk management solutions for growers across the country. Our veteran consultants harness cutting-edge technologies to pinpoint risk, optimize market performance, and protect your farm's profitability. Discover a new approach to farm revenue management at agyield.com.
Hey guys, Jack here. Be sure to support the show by hitting the like button, leaving us a comment, and subscribing to the channel for all the latest updates. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.